students. Hello, Mo.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now we will have a chapter called Reproduction in Organisms. You know, right? This is the first chapter of class 12, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Before we begin with, what is reproduction, Ma? What exactly you mean?
Like when you give birth or when you what is it called? Dividing. Is it
Very good.
dividing?
When we, instead we can say when an organism gives birth to the younger one, or you can say it's a biological process where a parent organism giving birth to new individual or offspring or younger one, which we call it as reproduction. Right, Ma? That's fine. But whenever you say reproduction, it is one of the life processes. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. It's one of the life processes. Can you list out the life processes? It is one of the life process. So should we list out the life processes? What are they? Come on now. Can you try out?
So life processes in a sense from birth to death, right?
Yes, birth to death, you can say, which is first to start with nutrition. Then we'll go with growth. Yes. Then digestion. Come on, mom. Respiration, transportation, excretion, sensitivity, movement, and you can say reproduction. Am I right? Yes. However, we need every stage of this life processes, which begins with nutrition to excretion. Along with that, reproduction is also one such a great mandatory process. Now I'll ask you a question. What happens if there is no reproduction? If there is no reproduction, just imagine.
So then the like all the when the people die, then the population won't increase.
Very good.
No
You can
life.
say directly, no life. Am I correct? No life, of course. If there is no organism is being reproduced, how would you expect the life for the next generation? It's not the matter of only current generation, which is also about next generation is being produced, right? So you can define it's a biological process. It's a biological process where parent is able to produce
Young ones.
young ones, right? Or you can otherwise say to be offspring, or you can otherwise say to be daughter or new individual. Perfect, mom.
Yes, sir.
That's fine. But if I ask you a question, is that only a particular organism will be able to reproduce, or every individual, every species, every type? What do you mean? What do you say?
We could say majority of them could reproduce because there are
Yes.
some species that cannot.
Right. Majority of them can reproduce, few of them unable to, and but still they will be carried their life. We'll see how. But you can say broadly, this is associated with lifespan. Is that any correlation ma here? Lifespan and reproduction? Can you try?
So like lifespan is like there's a no individual is immortal except for
Very good.
single celled or
Very good. You can say which is birth to death of an organism, and there is no individual, there is no organism which is said to be immortal, right? Except unicellular or single cell organisms. Very good. if somebody asks you, is that any individual is immortal? Of course not. But there is an exceptional case which is what? Unicellular
Elder cancers.
or single cell organisms. Example, fast.
So, Euglena,
Very good.
Paramecium.
Euglena, paramecium, amoeba, bacteria, right now. So on you can say. Clear. There is no doubt about
Yes.
it. But if something in a twisted way, is that any organism will be able to reproduce, or is that any organism which is said to be immortal apart from a word in single cell organisms? Yes, perfectly you can say all the asexually reproducing organisms. Will you agree?
So, but why?
Why? We'll see. That's good. Great. Asexually reproducing organisms means, look at, just imagine this is bacteria. Am I correct? Right, ma? A bacteria, single cell. Now, whenever it is dividing, what happened, ma? The bacterial parent cell get divides and now forms two new individual cells. Right. I'm going to back again. A single bacterial cell which is dividing, first its nucleus get divides, then the nucleus will be moving towards the poles, then you can say the bacterial cell get divides into two daughter cells. Where this two daughter cells comes from a bacterial parental cell. And this parental cell, where it will be, is it died, the parental cell? No, right? This would be continued in the form of these two daughter cells. Right. Now this daughter cell again become a parental cell. Now the same daughter cell will become a parental cell. It will be reproducing two daughter cells. This parent will be in the form of daughter cells. Now again daughter cell will become a parental cell. This would be dividing into two. The same story will be keep on repeating. Am I correct? So where, if somebody asks you, where is this parental cell? Of course, you can't say this is in the form of an individual cell. You can say directly. Again, this newly produced individual will become a parental cell. Right. Again, this will be dividing. What reproduction you call it is? Of course, which is asexual reproduction. Am I ma? Sanj?
Yes, sir. So, but asexually reproducing in a sense, if we take mushrooms too, aren't
Mhm.
they asexually reproducing?
Right.
So they will die, right? At a
No,
certain
that's
point.
what I'm telling you. First, lifespan in the sense which is from an organism period of birth to death, you call it as lifespan. But when you can say an organism is immortal, an organism is mortal. For example, you take all the sexually reproducing organisms, either it is human being, animal, or any kind of whatever it is. This would be continued its genetic information the next generation, but with the variations. But if you talk about asexually reproduced organisms, is that any variation exists? Of course not, no. Any doubt here? No, definitely. Right, ma?
No, sir.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
Now, this asexually reproducing organism, which continues its genetic information by dividing this parental cell into two daughter cells. Now, these two daughter cells, young ones, will be carried its reproduction in the form of a parental cell. Now, these two parental cells, these two individuals will become two parents over a certain period of time. Now, this will be dividing into two, and two daughter cells will be produced. This will be dividing into two, and two daughter cells will be produced. Now, first, again, I'll go back to your first scenario, a single parental cell divided into two daughter cells. Now, these two daughter cells will become two parental cells and will be able to produce each of them two. Right, ma'am? So first parental cell, it has become now how many rounds, how many cells for the two rounds of division? Four, no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, how does this four individuals comes from? From a single parental cell, which you could say, right, ma? Now, where is this? Where is this parental cell? This would be in the form of daughter cells. Is that any confusion now?
No, sir.
No, it doesn't mean the parental cell genetic information is getting carried into daughter cells. No,
So it'll be exactly the same, right?
right? Exactly same. You can't say only same. You which is identical. So let's try to move on the same thing in the differentiated manner to get better understanding. For example, we'll see asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. We'll try to figure out what is asexual reproduction now. First, single parent involved. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
You're getting no? Any confusion?
No,
Here,
sir.
both male and female parents. Nothing but here, two parents, one is male and the other one is being female. Here, no gametes formed. Right, ma? Here, formation of gametes. What gametes, ma? Formation of male and female gametes. We would love to say which is sperm cell and ova cell. There is no confusion. Next, you can say here, no fusion of gametes. No fusion of gametes. Here you can say fusion of gametes. Nothing but what is this process? Come on, move on
Fort
fast. Very good. Fertilization. Fertilization. Now, can you say something here? No variation. They are morphologically and genetically identical. But here, come on, morphologically
distinct.
and genetically distinct or variate. It doesn't mean this particular sexual reproduction which shows variation. Right, ma? Which shows
Yeah.
variation. Any doubt here as of now? Any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay,
So
ma. Yeah, continue.
in asexual reproduction,
Mhm.
morphologically, in a sense, the physical appearance.
Yes, physical appearance externally. How a parental cell it look like? I mean, the daughter cell which look like a parental cell. What do you call them as? You can refer them as clones. What are clones? They are genetically and morphologically identical to each other. But yes, very good question. If you talk about here twins, majority of our people will feel that twins are both are identical copies. Is it? Are they identical?
No, sir.
Undoubtedly, no. Yes,
So
if you
they
are,
are right.
no, no,
In when you take twins that are born from one single cell, like
they are
one.
not. You mean to say a single one egg, one sperm get fertilized, then it forms one zygote. The zygotes divides equally into two, and this will become one zygote and embryo. This will become another zygote and embryo. This will become two. I mean, two individuals as a twin. You mean to say, right? They are identical.
Sir,
Of course.
like
Mm.
95 to 98% they'll be identical, right?
Not 90, 95, 98, around 90, less than 90, you can say. For example, you might have seen twins which look or which appear similarly, but at least a minimal similar differences you can feel by externally. But if you talk about genetically, as you are a biology student, you should not say that. Yes, what about polymorphism? What about our ice blueprints? What about our mini satellite DNAs? Many ways, right? Many ways the genetic information is absolutely not identical. For example, you can talk about me and my parent, you and your parent. I might say, oh, Sanj looks like her father, and Sanj's brother look like his mother. But it doesn't mean you're the exact copy of your father. No, no. Am I? It doesn't mean if I look like my mother, am I exact copy of my mother? No, no. Even I could say that I would love to say that my baby look like me. It doesn't mean she's exact copy of me. No, few of my characters she might have passed on, or she would have received, and few of characters of my wife she have received. Daughters or young ones. Daughters in the sense in biology we say all the individuals are daughters. There is no male and female. New individual you could say. They are exact, not exact copy of their parent. They would only show resemblances. No complete similarities, identical in terms of morphology, identical in terms of genetically. Right? What do you, I mean, what you would say, except only asexual reproducing organisms. There is no other organism which is able to show genetically identity. Even morphological identity also very less in such cases like identical monozygotic twins, identical twins you can say, they just try to show morphological similarity but not the genetical similarity. Right, ma? If it is twins of 2 member, 3 member, 4 member, whoever it is, there is no doubt at all. And you might have observed few celebrities like their daughter or son who look like one of their parent, mother or father, exact copy. For example, I would give you an example called Hero Shrikant. He has son exact resemblance of him, and his daughter exact resemblance of his wife. But you can't say it is a genetical identity. The reason, we have polymorphism, which plays a wonderful role in our life, right? Am I clear, ma?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now I would end this recording and just give me a break.
Yes, sir.